In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NFL games happening on December 16, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago Bears versus Minnesota Vikings. Chicago hits the road to face Minnesota in a pivotal National Football Conference North clash on Monday, December 16th. The Bears enter this matchup with a dismal 4-9 record, having suffered through a brutal 7-game losing streak. Their disappointing season has already led to significant changes, including the firing of multiple coaching staff members, most notably their head coach just a few weeks ago. The team appears to be in disarray, struggling to find a path forward. Meanwhile, the Vikings stand tall at 11-2, firmly in second place within the National Football Conference North and trailing only the Detroit Lions for the divisional lead. Minnesota comes into this game riding the momentum of a 6-game winning streak and looking every bit like a serious contender. The current perception of the Minnesota Vikings is sky high, and for good reason. With an impressive 11-2 record and a recent string of 6 consecutive victories, the team has solidified its reputation as one of the NFL's elite squads this season. Their latest triumph came against their former quarterback in a game that turned into a lopsided victory thanks to a stunning fourth-quarter surge. However, a closer look at the contest reveals that the Atlanta Falcons, an average team by most measures, played Minnesota evenly for 3 quarters. The Falcons outgained the Vikings in total yardage, earned more first downs, and entered the final quarter in a tied game. Key mistakes by Atlanta, including a failed 4th-down conversion and a costly interception, ultimately allowed Minnesota to pull away. Despite the 21-point final margin, the victory may have been somewhat misleading as the Falcons' own errors, penalties, defensive lapses, and dropped passes contributed significantly to the outcome. That being said, there's still a lot to admire about the Vikings this season. Under head coach Kevin O'Connell, the team has developed a tight-knit locker room camaraderie. Quarterback Sam Darnold is playing the best football of his career, demonstrating poise and leadership. Meanwhile, their aggressive defense has consistently stepped up to make pivotal plays. However, some questions remain about just how good this team truly is. Regardless, they're clearly superior to their upcoming opponent, the Chicago Bears, as evidenced by their status as 7-point favorites in this matchup. The team's first meeting this season was a closely contested game, with the Vikings eking out a 30-27 overtime win. While the Bears weren't completely outmatched in that game, their recent performances have been deeply concerning. Last Sunday, Chicago endured a humiliating 38-13 loss to the San Francisco 49ers, managing just 4 total yards in the first half compared to San Francisco's 309. At 4-9, Chicago's motivation and overall trajectory remain under scrutiny. The Bears' offense delivered one of its worst outings of the season against the 49ers, totaling a mere 162 yards. Even against an injury-riddled San Francisco defense, the Bears failed to capitalize, and their own defense was equally ineffective, allowing 452 yards. Although the 49ers coasted in the second half, it was clear Chicago was thoroughly outclassed. The firing of head coach Matt Eberflus last week failed to provide any noticeable boost to the team, as the interim coaching staff was unable to rally the players. Facing the Vikings at home on Monday night, Chicago will likely encounter more of the same struggles. Minnesota's defense has been particularly formidable at home, ranking as the NFL's 6th best scoring defense. Quarterback Sam Darnold, playing the best football of his career, has shown he can guide the Vikings to explosive fourth-quarter performances, as evidenced by their 3 touchdowns against Atlanta last week. Complemented by Aaron Jones in the backfield, the Vikings' balanced offensive attack can quickly overwhelm opponents. While underdogs can often provide value in certain matchups, this game appears to feature two teams heading in starkly different directions. The Bears, plagued by organizational dysfunction and a lack of cohesion, missed a prime opportunity to turn things around against San Francisco last week. In contrast, the Vikings have been one of the NFL's top teams throughout the season. Though their previous meeting with Chicago went to overtime, the rematch is unlikely to follow a similar script. Sam Darnold, playing at an elite level, is poised to exploit Chicago's defensive vulnerabilities vulnerabilities. The Vikings should dominate early and decisively, leaving little room for a competitive game. Caleb Williams is unlikely to have much success moving the ball against Minnesota's defense, so the Minnesota Vikings to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Their first encounter was a close overtime battle, but Monday night's matchup doesn't project to be nearly as competitive. A high-scoring affair, like their combined 57-point effort earlier in the season, seems improbable. The Bears are coming off a subpar offensive performance against a banged-up San Francisco defense and now face Minnesota's elite unit. Chicago's inability to sustain quality drives against defensive coordinator Brian Flores' blitz-heavy scheme will likely keep their output limited. While Minnesota's offense has been electric, the game's script may favor a more conservative approach in the second half, especially as Chicago ranks 26th in rushing yards allowed. The Vikings can comfortably rely on Aaron Jones to control the clock and secure a straightforward win as they focus on more significant challenges ahead against Seattle, Green Bay, and Detroit. The trends favor a lower-scoring game. The under has hit in 5 of Minnesota's 7 home games, and it is also 6-2 in Vikings games where the total is set at 46 points or fewer. Minnesota's defense has been stellar at home this year, and with Chicago struggling behind a rookie quarterback, it's reasonable to expect Minnesota to keep the Bears out of the end zone throughout the game. Similarly, the under has hit in 5 of Chicago's 6 road games. For these reasons, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Falcons versus Las Vegas Raiders. Monday night will feature an exciting pair of games, one of which takes place at Allegiant Stadium. In this matchup, the Atlanta Falcons will face the Las Vegas Raiders for the first time since 2020. The game carries significant implications for the postseason picture and the NFL Draft, making it crucial for both teams. As the dust settles Monday night, one team will finally put an end to their losing streak in what promises to be a pivotal contest. This cross-conference clash is the second installment of the Monday night football doubleheader. From a bettor's perspective, it is hard to justify supporting the Raiders in this matchup. Las Vegas has been abysmal throughout the season, plagued by uncertainty at the quarterback position heading into this game. The Raiders have dropped 9 straight contests, with an average margin of defeat of 11.8 points during this dreadful stretch, showcasing their inability to compete effectively. On the other hand, Atlanta appears to be the superior team with more reliable, skilled position players and a better quarterback situation, regardless of who lines up under center for Las Vegas. The Falcons, led by Kirk Cousins and their potent offense, are well equipped to exploit the Raiders' vulnerabilities. Las Vegas has one of the league's poorest defenses, ranking 30th in points allowed per game, 21st in opposing completion percentage, and 15th in passing yards allowed. Atlanta's offensive firepower should have no trouble dismantling this porous unit. For the Falcons, this game represents a critical opportunity to bolster their playoff aspirations, and they are fortunate to face one of the league's weaker opponents. Las Vegas has an even worse turnover differential than Atlanta, and their rushing attack poses little threat, which should allow the Falcons' defense to step up and make impactful plays. These defensive efforts will, in turn, provide Atlanta's offense with ample opportunities to shine on the national stage. Offensively, the Falcons should be able to sustain drives and rack up yardage as they typically do. The Raiders, without key defensive playmaker Max Crosby, lack the ability to create consistent pressure up front, making it easier for Atlanta to avoid costly mistakes. The Falcons' balanced attack should thrive in this environment, enabling them to control the game. So the Atlanta Falcons to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Despite their struggles, both teams have shown the ability to score points and give up plenty, making the over an appealing wager. Las Vegas has surrendered at least 27 points in 5 of their last 6 outings, while Atlanta has allowed a staggering 106 points in their past 3 road games combined. On offense, Kirk Cousins has managed to surpass 230 passing yards in 5 of his last 7 games, benefiting from a strong backfield tandem of Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier. The Falcons have allowed the most passing touchdowns in the league, with the Raiders close behind in 3rd place, setting the stage for both quarterbacks to find success through the air. Atlanta's last 10 games have hit or exceeded 44 points in 8 instances, while the Raiders have surpassed that mark in 8 of their last 12 contests. On the road, Atlanta's defense has been especially vulnerable, allowing 28 points per game, with each opponent scoring at least 20 points. The Falcons' inability to contain elite receiving threats was evident last week and could spell trouble against Las Vegas on Monday. Brock Bowers, in particular, particular is primed to capitalize on Atlanta's defensive weaknesses, and the Raiders could easily put up at least 20 points in this matchup. For their part, the Raiders are ranked 30th in points allowed at 27.8 per game, with 5 of their last 6 opponents scoring 25 points or more. The lack of a pass rush and their league-worst turnover total further diminish their ability to capitalize on Atlanta's occasional ball security issues. Conversely, the Falcons' offense is expected to operate smoothly, capitalizing on a struggling Raiders defense. While the Raiders' offense has been underwhelming, ranking 27th in scoring with an average of just 18 points per game, this matchup offers a rare opportunity to find success. Atlanta's defense, ranked 25th in both points and passing yards allowed per game, also sits dead last in opposing completion percentage. Whether it's Desmond Ridder or Aiden O'Connell under center for the Raiders, they should be able to exploit these weaknesses to sustain drives and move the chains. Both defenses rank among the league's worst, creating the potential for a high-scoring affair. Even if the Raiders struggle offensively, Atlanta's offense is capable of a breakout performance, potentially scoring 35 points or more on their own. With such firepower on one side, the game's total could easily go over the projected line without needing much contribution from Las Vegas. Accordingly, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.